Hi, I'm Jose, Learning Consultant at Microsoft, and in this series, we're going to be looking at using 3D in education. 3D content is proven to increase understanding and comprehension of subjects. So I've come here to Microsoft's Paint 3D Studio to discover some of the fun and engaging ways you can introduce easy 3D creation in the classroom. There is a video for each of the STEAM topics, and in this episode, we're looking at engineering. I'm here today with Paint 3D's art director, Marcus, and he's going to be able to talk to us more about how we can use Paint 3D within engineering. Yeah, sure. Well, 3D in Windows is great for blurring the lines between the digital world and the real world. And in engineering, most things are designed in the digital space for the use case in the real world. So we're going to show you some examples about how Paint 3D and other Windows tools can help students do that. Great. So are there any icebreaker activities that we could get started with? There are. I mean, here we've got some primitive shapes created in Paint, and we're going to piece these components together a little bit like a 3D jigsaw, and we're going to create a teapot out of it. So we'll start off using the sphere because that's the main object for the teapot, and we'll place it there. And then this tube looks like it could be the spout. So I'm going to move that over, and I'm going to do a bit of rotation, and I want to make sure it's in the right position in the teapot, so I'm going to use the Z handle tool, position it there. And then this donut shape, this looks like a good example for the handle. Do a bit of scaling. And then this object here, this could be a good base. So snap it into place. Once again, make sure it's in the center. And I think the thing that it's missing at the moment is a handle and a lid. So we can duplicate this base. So we will use the copy and paste tool. And then all we need is a handle to go on top. Use the same tool, copy and paste. Position it on top of the lid. And at that point, you'll see that we have a very simple teapot made out of primitive shapes. And that looks great, and a great way to start with. Yeah, and it's really cool. And one last thing we can do is we can give it some materials to make it look like a real teapot. So we can choose polished metal, use the fill bucket, put a dull metal spout, handle and lid, and then maybe put a matte plastic lid on the top. And then we'll rotate around the object, and we've made a teapot. They get a really good understanding of how to manipulate objects in 3D, moving, scaling and rotating. So is there a way that we can progress from this and use it as part of a main activity? Yeah, well what we're going to do here is we're going to design a chair, and we're going to start off with a 2D picture that you've made of the chair, and then use the 3D doodle tool. We're going to use the flat extrude, and we're just going to point and click over the top of the existing picture, and we will quickly and easily create the legs and the framework. And there you can see it has made 3D shape straight away. And now we're going to use the soft-edged doodle tool to create the metal armrest. So would you recommend for those students starting to use this for the first time to have a 2D image behind it so they can trace it? Yeah, absolutely, because it's a lot easier to get your ideas down in 2D and using Paint to create that, and then trace over the top using this tool in 3D. And then we're going to go back to the hard edge doodle tool, select the blue colour. And the great thing is that you can draw in freehand as well as clicking point to point. So we do a nice curve around there. And at this point we can have a look in free view, and we can see that we've got the basic building blocks of the chair. We can extend it out and make it the width that a normal chair would be. Clearly we would like the legs to be thinner. Drag that to be much thinner. And then what we can also do is duplicate the legs on the armrest and move them over to the other side. And if we turn off the canvas, we'll be able to see the chair itself. And this is the success criteria for the activity. So when the students have hit that success criteria and met that learning outcome, is there a way, or are there more tools that they could use to progress themselves even further? Yeah, there are. So the next steps here is this chair was obviously designed for a human to sit on. So what we can do is we can validate our design and decisions by importing a picture of a real-world human. That's me sitting on a chair. Click on Magic Select. Choose the area which you want to pop out from the picture. Click Next. Do a bit of amendment. So we're going to remove this area around here. We'll click Done.
And you can see if I delete the background that has isolated the picture of me. So I'm going to scale that down so it fits with the scale of the chair. And if we just turn the canvas off, you can see that the chair itself is around about fit for purpose, and this is a really good way of bringing the real world back into the digital space and using the tool set to validate the decisions that we've made.
And I think for students and educators seeing this and how easy it is to use, I think they'll be really eager to start with this.
Yeah, it's great, and you can move on from here as well. So for example, if we wanted to customise our design yet further in relation to the ergonomics of a human sitting down, we could, for example, start deleting the cushions, we could get rid of the armrests. So now we have the human shape and we have the frame of the chair, and this is a great opportunity for the students to make a custom addition to the chair using these two objects as reference points.
So the students then are able to put their own personal stamp on things?
Yeah, sure, they can get creative and quickly and easily visualise their ideas in 3D. So I'm going to go in and use the 3D Doodle tool, and I'm going to just do a free-form contour around the body. So now we've got the chair, I'm going to scale it to fit the width of the frame. And at this point we have our basic shape, and the next stage then that we can go into is start changing the colour and the materials. What we can do is, as part of the sticker library within Paint, we can choose a wood texture and we can start applying that to the frame. And for advanced users this is great because not only are they designing the shape and the composition of the elements, they're also really interested in making it have the colours and the materials that fit the design. So we have the wood texture there, and we can now go in and use a custom sticker that we can create from our library and change the colour and the material of the cushion. We can also do this in 3D and get a really good view of our content, and we can just start stamping away. And you'll notice that I'm using the mouse as well as the pen, and the great thing is the tool's set up to use touch pen or mouse, but it enables you to scale and become a power user if you want to incorporate more than one input.
And I think it makes it accessible then for all users and their preferred ways of creating things in 3D.
It does, absolutely. So there we go. So we've textured the main bit of the chair. It's got a custom design on it, which is different from the original 2D sketch, and it's fully textured with materials that the student would like. So what we've learned from this lesson is the ability to create custom shapes using the 3D Doodle tool, the ability to import other digital assets to help validate the design, and just the fundamental use of the manipulation tools in 3D.
That's great. So for those higher attaining students as well, are there ways that they can go beyond the lesson plan?
So to take this further, it's about using the full suite of tools to create more complex designs, or in this case, make a full suite of furniture.
So now that we've created that 3D model, what could we do with that?
What we can do is we can view it in mixed reality.
And is that something that's easy to do, to go into mixed reality?
It is, yeah. You can, at the click of a button, you can view it in mixed reality. And the great thing about that is normally it takes a lot of time and effort and money to build a model of your design, but here we can transfer it directly from the digital world into the real world, and you can see it in context and make some really good decisions on your design.
And when those students hit that mixed reality button, the faces begin to light up, those eureka moments begin because their digital effort has become a physical reality.
Yeah, it's a great way for students to see the value of creating in 3D.
Paint 3D comes installed with Windows 10. For more information on using Paint 3D in education, check out the Microsoft Educator community. You'll find downloadable resources, lesson plans, and engaging ways to use technology in the classroom. Let us know what you have found useful and what features you would like to see next in Paint 3D by leaving a comment below. And to watch the next video in the series, click here.